AJ in Washington says he's encountered Bigfoot and ghosts and has video of it.
Ooh, let's talk
I
about it.
know, right? Hi, AJ. How you doing?
Hey, Kelley, it's me. Not much. I've been watching your little podcast thing. It's been interesting, especially that first one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years, studying and ghosts and seeing UFOs and Bigfoots myself and Sasquatch. And I've had many different encounters with them in my own city as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is always interesting. And then the whole ghost hunting thing, the whole thing to me is just a hobby. But it's a fun hobby too.
You're a ghost hunter?
Yeah. For 7 years.
Okay.
I'm
That's
mixed
good.
of everything, but ghost hunting, UFOs, Bigfoot, mythology, or not cryptic. I can't pronounce. Cryptic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen more than just Bigfoot. There's a thing called a Pugwatton that's a Native American folklore that I've actually seen myself, and it's an interesting creature that it goes after people that want to tolerate. It's like a trickster thing. But a lot of people have heard them but have never seen them. But I actually did a ghost hunt on this guy's place in Washington, because I only do Washington stuff. And he was trying to figure out why his house was so haunted. His stuff would be moving around. It's been on the news many times, and we are trying to debunk the guy. Ghost Adventures has been there, Ghost Hunters as well, the TV shows, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
The guys that are always going to find the ghost next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Did the guys from Ghost Adventures, I'm sorry, I just got to jump in real quick because I'm curious to know. Did the people from Ghost Adventures start yelling and cussing at the ghost just to see if it would actually, reveal itself?
What do you think?
I find that always entertaining.
What's funny is my group is actually the first group to get calls from people like them if they want to go investigate. I've never met them. If I did, I'd just shake my head at him. I'm still a fan of him, but he's got too much TV in him,
Well, the show's for entertainment, right? I don't think it's not made for scientific research. It's made to entertain people.
I've seen that with many different TV channels, and A&E is probably like the only closest to the real thing. Discovery Channel, they've got too many rules. My group actually was almost on Travel Channel just for Washington ghost hunting, and they didn't like that what we were doing was real. They wanted the fake stuff, and we don't do that. We're actually against faking yet investigating, even in Bigfoot. I've actually caught 2 of my ex-people faking stuff, and we had to kick them out.
Oh, wow. So I'm curious. I'm curious, AJ, if we're gonna pick one cryptid, and I know that Kelley's favorite cryptid is Sasquatch. I know this because I've got it on good source material that the favorite cryptid is Sasquatch, and low key
up here it is too.
Yeah, so he's mine too. Sasquatch is mine too. So I'm curious. Tell us how you were able to see Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and also catch him on video. I really want to know this story.
Well, there's many stories. I do have a video that's coming out on Facebook and YouTube on my channel here that I'm actually in for the spooky month. The whole thing. But the best way to ever get evidence is by mistake. Don't just think about it. Just go. If you have Sasquatch in your areas, because I know a lot of places they do and they don't because of the different tribes. The northern They're like the nicest ones you ever want to see. They don't want to, like the TV shows, they'll always run after you, throw stuff at you. That's TV drama.
But the real tribe of Bigfoots are real friendly.
Yeah, they actually are. And but what's weird is the ones down south from our area are the ones that have the red eyes. Ones up here where I am, they have white.
So the red eyes are mean and the white eyes are nice?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Depends on where you are. Like, I don't know if you ever heard about the tree breaking thing. Kelley probably knows what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see markers. Depends on what side of that tree. You don't want to cross on the wrong part, or else they get very territorial. They'll give you warnings. But one of my favorite encounters.
No, I was just going to ask you. So the tree breaking is a sign or a warning to a person who happens to encroach in their territory.
It's sort of like a territory marker.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And it's a tracking thing. Depends on which way it's bent. If it's bent a certain way, it's a warning. If it's bent I'm still trying to figure that part out, because I've actually had one on my video. I've actually had a counter of one where it was behind me and somehow I heard it, but I didn't hear it that clearly. It bent a branch a certain way that wasn't there before. So when I turned around and going, that wasn't there.
AJ, did you see the footage that recently came out of the Bigfoot in Colorado that was sighted off the train?
Yes, I did a video of that. The people debunked it as a thing for the train, which, yeah.
Okay, so it was like a part,
like something that was staged for the people on the train.
Yeah, because Colorado does have big Sasquatch, and theirs are way different than the ones we have here, which is really interesting. Like the ones in Texas, the skunk ape, I believe, or is that Florida?
That's Florida.
Skunk ape, that's right. Yeah.
Skunk apes are in Florida.
Every area, different tribes of Bigfoot are going to be different. The height-wise, the smell, the color. But the one I had, I was actually not even looking for them. I was just taking photos of birds and trying to record them. While I was setting up, I heard a splash in the creek that I'm in next to. Okay, was that a tree? No. Okay, I don't know what that was. And all of a sudden I hear, what's that?
Oh, well, no, I'm sorry, AJ. I just want to jump in because I am a cryptid novice. Okay. Yeah. And I am always extremely curious to know things when cryptids come up.
Yeah.
Because so you mentioned different tribes and kinds of, specifically of Bigfoots, that are different depending on where they are happen to reside. So the Florida ones are like this. There may be like a little bit shorter than maybe the Texas ones, and etc.
is more hairier than the ones up here, and they're more mean.
Okay, gotcha.
I understand.
Okay, yeah, kind of like depending on where you go, like maybe one bear is like friendlier than the other. Kind of like pandas are playful, but grizzlies will kick your ass. Okay. So but like,
it's basically the same thing. Like the brown bears that we have here, they could care less who you are. They'll just walk away.
Right.
The grizzlies are playful too. They just play really rough.
Yeah, well, I think it's the same issue. Like they can be playful with one another, but if they feel like they're threatened or if you actually encroach on their territory, they can get upset. Which most animals do. But I'm curious. How do you like what type of research specifically, or no, that's not my question. Let me come back. I'm rewind it back. My question is, what source material are you using to learn about specific Bigfoots, depending on where they happen to reside?
The different tribes.
Just studying and doing
Okay. Okay. So
my own experience.
Okay, so well, Kelley, you mentioned the different tribes. So you're talking about indigenous
that's
people.
what AJ said. He said there were different tribes, so that's why.
Okay.
I volunteered
okay.
that.
Native Americans have their own tribes, like how every state has their own watchers. Same thing.
Okay, so so the source. So, okay, hold on. I'm trying to get back because I'm really trying to learn here. So the source material that you would use to know which tribe of Bigfoot that you're discussing would come from other watchers that happen to be in that area, or and your own experience. Can you kind of like expound on that?
That had the similar. Mostly, it's people that I've actually interviewed that had the similar encounters like I had, but not as close. I've actually had people come up to me because they ran, because of TV makes Bigfoot scary. My daughter seen one herself by accident. She didn't know what it was. She thought it was a bear until she saw Henry and the Hendersons, one of the best Bigfoot movies out there. And the first thing that came to my mind going, oh, that's a documentary. She thought that was real, that the movie was real because how realistic that looks. Until I told her, no, it's just a movie that they made because of what happened to somebody that they had a encounter. The person that made the movie had an encounter in Washington, and he wanted to make a movie about it. That was very similar, seeing it out in the wild, thinking, what would happen if Bigfoot got in your house? Kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, like a what if story, and depending on his particular experience. Okay, so the source material is mostly other people who may have cited them, and your own experience. What other source material are you using to kind of like corroborate? I saw a Washington Bigfoot that looks like this. Like what source material what else are you using? Like, I mean, because like, and the reason why I'm asking this question, I'm sorry, say that again. No, I was giving an example. Like, say for instance, if I decide to go bird watching, let's just say I want to go bird watching, and so one of the first things I do is I may go to my library and pick up a book of different kinds of birds. And
the Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that, right? And then so like and I may like travel to, let's say, Canada, to actually see like specific birds and because like all this data has been collected. Right. It's been collected and it's been placed in these particular source materials that have been vetted by other I forgot the fancy word for bird watching, but they've been vetted by other people who have studied birds, and that these particular species of birds may live in this area. So my question is this: is there anything specifically like that could be used to corroborate tribes of big feet, so that you could say, I saw this?
There actually are some books, just not many people know that Bigfoot does have different tribes for different things. Because
is there? I guess to simplify it, what Cynthia is asking you, is there a field guide to North American Bigfoot tribes?
There you go.
There probably is, but I haven't really seen anything. There's guides how to see where they've been and whatnot, and research. But there are books like eyewitness books that'll tell you where. Are one of the best groups out there is the, what is it called? The BRFO, and on their website you can actually read about eyewitnesses where things happened.
So this is their recount. So this is their recount of eyewitness testimony to Bigfoot. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I've actually interviewed a few people that's nearby me that's had the same encounter with the same color, height wise, belt wise.
Yeah, you know, AJ, I just wanted to just jump in and just say this because I know that we need to move on to another call. I get, again, a little fearful when I hear eyewitness testimony, especially like eyewitness testimony in the court of law is usually like the worst testimony that somebody can get to actually getting to the truth of whatever happened. It's even like the rumors of eyewitness testimony that came up when people were saying that there was eyewitness testimony to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I don't know. It's kind of nebulous, but I think it's interesting that you do this and have seen this, and I'm hoping that you will call back and talk more about some of your experiences that you've seen with cryptids, especially with Sasquatch. I make sure that I will tune in again because this is fascinating. I want to learn more.